Guys, this is going to be one of the most important videos that I ever post about fitness, strength gain, gaining muscle, and overcoming injury. Now, I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process that I use to bring my client Kamil from massively injured, in pain, huge movement dysfunctions really, to 20 pounds of muscle, 2xing his strength, 2xing his energy in less than 180 days. Actually, we 4x'd his strength in that time. Now, this is going to be a step-by-step breakdown so you can have a huge amount of value in this. I want you to be able to take this and use it for yourself. So sit down with a cup of coffee, grab a pen and paper, take notes on your phone, come back and use the video whenever you want. Buckle up because this can and will change your life. This is the blueprint on how to liberate yourself from pain, overcome your injuries, 2x your energy and strength forever in 180 days or less using the Resilient Strength Blueprint without ever losing that strength, feeling injured, or spending more than 3 hours a week in the gym. Holy shit, right? Let's dive into how I had this program work for Kamil. So, my name is Trevor, and I'm going to show you exactly how I helped my client Kamil go from injured, very injured, like laundry list of injuries, I'll name it in a second, and in pain, to gaining 20 pounds of muscle and becoming completely injury-free within 120 days. And he got the body and strength he never, ever thought possible with a Resilient Strength Blueprint. And you can just look at him right now and take a look, like 75 kilos. This is 120 days at 187 pounds, 85 kilos, and this is 180 days plus where he is just a monster of a man. And I'm going to reveal how you can be exactly like Kamil and go from unable to do shit. In Kamil's case, he was unable to squat his body weight without his left knee dislocating completely. Or staying away from a whole bunch of activities he wanted to do or you want to do. You know, he wasn't able to run and he wasn't able to bike and he wasn't able to do all these things that he knew he should be able to do, but the doctor said he couldn't because of injury. So go from that to, for him, deadlifting 180 kilos, lifting whatever you want, confidence in all of his movements. He can run, he can jump, he can sprint, he can climb. He's in his mid-30s, guys, and he went from not being able to do shit to being able to do all of these things anytime he wants. And he's strong, he's lean, he's up 20 pounds of muscle, 40 at this point in his career with us, and he's athletic. In his injury list, get this. Okay, we've got it all. So, shattered right ankle, fully torn ligaments in his left kneecap, and the whole thing got ripped out and sort of twisted, and it just became so unstable that the rehab doctor said, oh yeah, you probably should never run or bike again. And he would be sitting down during the day and it would get so locked up and so painful and it would cramp on the outside of the leg and it would just cause him pain and dysfunction all the time. So that's kind of the lower body. And then we had, broken collarbone on the right-hand side, twice, broken on the left, 3 times, full separations on both. Every single finger has been dislocated and broken. Every single one of them, multiple times. 2 breaks on the right arm, 3 breaks on the left arm. There will be a picture later. He had a compound fracture, actually, the tibia and not tibia and fibia, the radius and ulna of the arm up here, both, boom, boom, out. And these were causing issues for him when he moved beyond his 20s and into his 30s. He couldn't do a whole bunch of shit, and he was an active guy, very self-directed. So who this is for? Really get into this because this is important. If you want to free yourself from persistent injuries, pain, and dysfunction, do you want to get lean, resilient enough to do any activity you want, while building a very strong body and frame that won't fail you ever, this is for you. If you want to put on 15 to 40 pounds of lean, functional, athletic muscle, this is for you. If you are tired, if you're so tired of feeling lost and overwhelmed when it comes to freeing yourself from pain and injury, getting and staying strong and lean, and you want a simple and proven system that is built for your life, your personal goals, your personal needs. Unlike most fitness systems, which really just kind of force you into a cookie cutter program, then this is for you. If you are tired of jumping around between rehab program and never really seeing permanent results, this is for you. If you want more energy, more confidence, and more free time because you're free of all these things that are holding you back, this is for you. If you want to break free of this cycle of workout to injury that is keeping you from becoming your really ultimate self, for you. And if you feel like you have tried your damned hardest and all the work you've put in has you feeling beat up, discouraged, angry, and rightfully so, rightfully angry from the lack of results, and you want to rise above all of that bullshit and finally succeed, this is for you. And if you know you can show up and do the work to build the best version of yourself, but you're lacking the guidance, the accountability, and the knowledge of the best and easiest path, this is for you. And if you believe you're worthy of change, this is for you. But who this is not for? If you want to stay stuck doing traditional workouts that really are only beating you up, causing you pain, and holding you back from being the best man you can be, instead of trying and succeeding with a proven system, it's not for you. And if you are not ready to dedicate at least 3 hours a week to the gym, and you'd rather just sit on the couch and just waste all of your potential for the rest of your life, definitely not for you. And if you only want a quick fix, like do these 3 movements and you'll be better forever, it doesn't work. And if you don't want to use a proven system that will get you strong, will get you lean, will get you free from pain and dysfunction and build strength for the rest of your life, well, it's not for you. And back to the worthy. If you personally do not believe you are worthy of building and becoming the apex version of yourself, who has energy, who has strength, who has physical ability, and can express that in a healthy, positive manner and be a leader in his life, it's not for you. If you don't believe that, if you don't believe you're worthy of that, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You need to believe you're worthy. And if you believe you're worthy, I will show you the path. Now, here's the truth about getting strong and lean for life that nobody will tell you. You can get strong and resilient without sacrificing family time, your favorite foods, or spending innumerable hours in the gym. Most men haven't done this because they don't understand how to. Train with maximum efficiency in the gym with ease and confidence. Work out to become truly strong and athletic while easily fixing injuries as we do this. Eat proper nutrition. And it's like nutrition thing is kind of at the bottom of my list because it's so easy and chill to do. It's so easy to implement in your life when you know the secrets of how to do it. And use the Resilient Strength Blueprint instead of a quick fix approach. Key here. Don't worry. I'm not going to let any of those negatives happen to you. There's no such thing as I'm too old to start, this won't work for me, or the big lie we tell ourselves. I don't have enough time. We know it's bullshit. We will all make time for the things we view as important. You don't have to destroy yourself in the gym for hours at a time. You don't. You don't have to push through this exhausting pain and dysfunction in the gym and in life on a daily basis. You don't have to use chemical assistance or be genetically lucky to become the apex version of yourself that you're meant to be. You need a proven system. And if you want to be the best version, the absolute best version of yourself, I'll show you how to do exactly that by avoiding the common traps that really 99% of men fall into. And I'll show you the ultimate method of working out to become strong, resilient, pain-free, and injury-resistant. And how, the step-by-step approach here, I help my client, Kamil, and many other clients get free of pain and injury and become so strong and lean that really their friends and their family didn't recognize them when they pulled their shirt off. And how to eliminate pain and injury to put on 20 pounds of lean, strong, athletic muscle in 180 days or less. And how to do all this without sacrificing important family time, spending more than 3 hours a week in the gym. We're all busy men. We all have stuff to do. But we can't do any of that stuff without health and strength. In case you don't know me, here's my brief backstory, and I'm going to take a little sip of water here because I love this shit and I get fired up. So this is how I got here. So for 15 years, I have been coaching men to be strong, lean, resilient, and true to themselves. I'm a married father of 3 kids. I live in Norway with my Norwegian wife. I'm an American. Moved to Norway with like $100 in my pocket, and I've been running a gym here for 15 years. And so I understand how to go from nothing to something. And I have once had a host of injuries that held me back from all of my workouts, kept me stalling and stopping and searching for solutions to problems. And now I can do whatever I want. My shoulders used to come out of socket like all the time. Now I can overhead press huge amounts of weight, and it's easy. I can pick up my kids and I can throw them. I can run around, no issues. And I know how to overcome these injuries, even truly awful ones, to get strong and stay strong for myself and my family. I stay around 185 pounds year round, and I stay lean and athletic, and I teach my clients to do the same. And after working with hundreds of men and fathers who really used to struggle daily with pain, lackluster results, and despair, true despair at staying stuck and grinding in circles, I decided I needed to find a way to free themselves from these shackles and gain strength and athleticism forever. And to do this, I created the Resilient Strength Blueprint. It's a training system and it's a community to help men achieve their apex selves and overcome the obstacles and the pain and the dysfunction and the bad habits that have held them back for years. The Resilient Strength Blueprint is made to help men rise above all those things in the easiest, most approachable manner possible. And this is what I live for. The Resilient Strength Blueprint, it is the system that I built through science, my own trial and error from 15 years of coaching men to be their strongest, best, and most resilient selves, and teaching them to stay strong forever. Just a little bit of background: personal trainer, certified strength and conditioning coach, 4 years of physical therapy school. And I didn't want to do physical therapy. I wanted to help people achieve true function and not just stay in dysfunction. So I ditched school to do that. And it's been a beautiful ride. So in the following steps, this is our breakdown. This is our step-by-step. How do we do this? These are great. He's talking about all these really cool things. It sounds wonderful. How? Doesn't seem possible. So in the following steps, I'm going to outline the entire process from A to Z of what I did to accomplish these results for Kamil. And so you can use the Resilient Strength Blueprint to liberate yourself from pain, overcome your injuries, 2x your energy and strength forever in 180 days or less. So we're using Kamil as the vehicle to show you how this works. I've got a little bit of cold, so excuse me. So the Resilient Strength Blueprint. It's made of 3 key phases. We have our foundational phase, the acceleration phase, and then the aggregation phase. And it follows 3 key guidelines. This is meat and potato stuff right here. So you can screenshot this, you can come back to, you can read this. I'm going to jump right into it, so I'm not reading this 5 times. You guys are not children. You do not need a bedtime story. Unless you want one, then let me know and I'll read you one. So let me show you how we optimized and tailored each one of these phases of the system for Kamil, so he was no longer held back by the mistakes he didn't even know he was making, and finally get strong, lean, resilient, and pain-free. So he could express all of this strength in this athleticism without second-guessing everything in his life, second-guessing every movement. Oh, can I pick that up? Oh, can I walk up this mountain? No. Of course you can. The foundation, the first 30 to 60 days. So for Kamil, we overcame all of those problems, that big laundry list of injuries, within the first 60 days. So here's the breakdown. So if you don't like it, don't look at this one, but this is a picture of both his broken left arm, and you can see right here the bones shattered here and here and here and here. So that was a full compound fracture, and his knee I don't have a good imaging of, but when he came into the gym, remember, he couldn't bodyweight squat without his knee dislocating. And this is him now, right down here. He's farmers walking, I don't know, it was like 200 pounds. Farmers walking, carrying 200 kilos in each hand, or in total, 100 kilos in each hand. Conversions, metric and imperial. It messes me up. And here he is deadlifting. I think he's around 180 to 200 in this picture. From massive dysfunction to massive strength and personal ability. So for what we did with Kamil, we had to take him through a personal assessment. Figure out what his injuries were, what his problems were, where did they stem from, what was going on. And then I make a training program built off of all of that. And that training program, built within the blueprint, needs to be simple and doable with maximum efficiency. Because he doesn't have a lot of time. Kamil's an entrepreneur. He runs 2 businesses. He's a busy man. Now, with him, we identified what's held him back and start fixing it on day 1. And what was holding him back was all of these injuries, all of this dysfunction, and the fact that every time he started and tried in the gym, he didn't really know what to do. He didn't really know how to do it. And every time he went into the gym, he was just feeling beat up and shitty. So when we ran the assessment, we identified what movements would work best for him. And then we put that into the blueprint to adjust it for his own personal needs and injuries. And we taught him how to learn and move correctly for long-term strength and resilience. No more half-ass movements, no more half-ass results. So we demonstrated to him how to move, and he gave us feedback on it. We got videos, we did follow-up, we did follow-through, and we made sure that he was moving correctly in all of his movements. Week to week, better and better and better. Steps, better and better and better, more confidence. Because his squat issue was dysfunction in the knee, but the big problem was coming from his hips. He didn't know how to engage his hips. He didn't know how to create stability and movement. And he was very athletic. All his injuries came from downhill racing on bikes. So he had strength in the muscles, but he didn't have engagement. So we taught that, and very quickly, stability followed. And then from stability came strength. And through strength, we become pain-free and resilient to any future injury. And this is where we guided Kamil through this time. And the big thing we worked with here is mindset hacks to prevent failure. We had to overcome the idea of go hard, gotta go fast. Because if he was trying to go fast and he was trying to go hard, then he would never, ever, ever reach his goal. Because it's very Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote stuff. He'd be running and, he's the coyote, not the Roadrunner in this case. And boom, he falls. And then he never gets to the Roadrunner, never gets to where he wants to be. Because he'd go too hard and he'd injure himself. And it would go back. You're noticing this pattern? Is this resonating with you? You go hard, it starts to feel okay, and then all the injuries pile up and you stop. He was stuck in that. And so we used these mindset hacks that were very easy to implement. So he could just say, oh, no, okay, I'm doing this. And this is how I'm executing the program. And all this happens in the beginning, in those first 30 to 60 days. And we make it so you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, you know how to execute the movements, and you have follow-up on every movement so you know that you're always improving. You're always getting a little bit better, and you're gaining mastery and skill set so you can do this for yourself. You're gaining the skill set of working out and taking care of your body so you can continue to work out and continue to take care of your body for the rest of your life. This is the most important thing here. The strength and resilience is for the rest of your life. It's for the rest of Kamil's life. And the big one here, dropping my F-bomb, is to unfuck your body and stay that way. We unfucked his body and we made sure that he didn't leap ahead, put the cart in front of the horse. No, he's going to stay solid. That's phase 1. Phase 2, we're in acceleration. We have now overcome the issues that Kamil was facing. We have overcome all of these problems. We identified the injuries. We've overcome the injuries. We've taught him how to work out properly and safely. We're doing feedback on all of his movements so he knows he's doing them correctly, so he can just go in the gym and he can do the work and he can go out and go back to work and his family. So this phase 2 breakdown, this is where shit gets real fun, because you start being able to express all this functionality you now have. It's cool. So what we did, now that we saw that he was stable, he was confident in his movements, we took the next phase of the blueprint in his program and we stepped up the work. We could do more volume and we could do more load, and we could give him feedback on how that was working so he never ever hit a plateau. And as this was happening, he's becoming strong and confident in his body and himself, which is incredibly empowering. And that makes this fun, and that makes this engaging, and that makes this continuously possible. Because before, he was in pain, and this sucked. So why would he maintain doing something that sucked? Why would he maintain doing something that kept him in pain? Now in phase 1, he realized he didn't have to deal with that anymore. In phase 2, he's getting all this strength and all this athletic ability, and it doesn't suck. It's really cool. And we continue strengthening the weak links. So he still had some problems. It's years and years of dysfunction. And we have this chain, and there are some big shattered links, and there's some weakness along the way, and we're just going to re-weld, and we're going to fix everything as we go. We're going to make sure that the workouts are fun and engaging as we do it. He didn't want to sit there doing rehab movements all day, every day, because it's super boring. It's not fun. It's not engaging. And the rehab stuff only gets you so far. And so for Kamil, he'd done rehab to get him to a point where he could sort of move, but he never got strong. And if you can't get strong, you can't get stable. So rehab gets you to the point where you need to get strong. And this is where we brought him now. All these weak links, boom, you're getting locked in solid. So everything gets easier for him. And here he is. And here he is again, just a stacked man. And then phase 3 is aggregation. So this is where Kamil's injuries are no longer persistent. They're no longer a problem for him. There might be some niggling bits and bobs that we are fixing as we go, but nothing is keeping him from expressing his strength, expressing his athleticism, and getting back to running, getting back to biking, getting back to Brazilian jiu-jitsu. All these things he couldn't really do before because they would just destroy him. You can't do Brazilian jiu-jitsu if your knee falls out of socket the second you land on it wrong. So he was doing this again within that 180 days. He was starting to eat more, he was lifting more, and he was feeling great and confident in the phase 3 breakdown, or in phase 3. And he's become the strongest, leanest, and most resilient version of himself in this. Now, if Kamil was a big boy, we would have leaned him out. But he's a skinny boy, so we packed the muscle on. This, for Kamil, was a big jump-off point for Apex tier goals. Now, we got that 180 kilo deadlift, right? We packed it on there, but he wants to go further. He wants to go above and beyond. And so we create a vehicle which enables him to do that within the Resilient Strength Blueprint. So we've gotten from dysfunction and pain to functional and moving well to very, very strong in that 180 days with Kamil. And then leading up and on, super, super strong, super lean, super athletic. Goals change. We build that within the system. Life goes. He wants to train 2 times a week. We do 2 times a week. He wants to train 7 times a week. We train 7 times a week. We make it work for him. And he is always surpassing himself on a weekly and monthly basis, easily, organically, without having to think about anything, because we're doing it for him. And he is in love with the process. So here's some key guidelines for each phase. This is a little bit of a, maybe you want to take notes through this, because this is some training stuff that just doesn't really get talked about. This is me in recovery. I believe this is somewhere in Germany. I was traveling with my wife, pre-kids. We still travel with the kids though. So the 3 key guidelines to break down. We've got our training, we've got our recovery, and we've got our nutrition. And this is weaved throughout the entire blueprint. All of this is built within the blueprint. And these are stuff that if you were doing it on your own, you would really have to think about. You have to adjust every single one of these variables to achieve success. But it's a lot. So we make sure that we do that within the blueprint. So you don't have to think about these things other than the prime things that we tell you to do. So we will adjust the sets, reps, intensity, rest periods, volume, load, technique, focus, tempo of the exercises, the entire training program built within the blueprint, your warm-up, your exercise selection, your technique, your mobility or lack of mobility, your restrictions due to injury, your starting ability, your workout frequency, your cardio, and your work capacity. These are all variables, and they're not even all the variables. I don't have enough paper for all the variables. Those are all the things that we adjust for you and had to adjust for Kamil and readjust for Kamil as he got better. It's not just do it once. It's we keep doing this as we go to make sure that Kamil was able to achieve his goals, or any one of our other clients are able to achieve their goals. And in terms of recovery, this is a little bit, the onus is on you, but we help you figure this shit out. And for Kamil, we had to adjust his sleep, workout frequency, and some of the work-life balance and dietary stuff. Those were his big main focuses on that one. And then everything else kind of fell in. Stress became decreased because all the other things were starting to feel better. Work productivity increased. He was able to accelerate his second business because he had more capacity, because he had more physical ability, he had more work capacity, he had more energy, and he had more focus. So that was part of the training, and then the recovery helped bring that up. And then in terms of nutrition, again, it depends. And then if you're big, then we adjust that. If you're tiny, then we work with that. It doesn't really matter because we're going to get you lean and we're going to get you strong. And for Kamil, lean and strong was what we did. So we will look at our habits. If you got to gain weight, if you got to lose weight, what your current diet looks like. Is it a dumpster fire or is it not? What are your personal restrictions? Do you have things that you can and can't eat? Your personal skill when it comes to actually cooking or dealing with your own diet, your knowledge, ability to meal prep, how much you're eating out, how much you're drinking, and your food choices. So we look at all of those things and just adjust them really, really quickly, make it within the avenue of just changing habits. So it's very organic and it's very simple and it's very approachable. And so for Kamil, he was astounded at how easy this whole process was. He was astounded because he just kept succeeding. Whenever anything kind of started getting in his way, we just adjusted something and he just kept succeeding. He had to do a little bit of work on the outside of the gym and he had to put in some energy and effort and he had to believe he was worthy and he had to change his focus. But as soon as he started doing those things, everything became in alignment and all this pain and dysfunction that he'd been living with for ages just whoop, right out the door. The Resilience Strength Blueprint, it's meant to give you the ability to train so efficiently and so well that you have no choice but success. It becomes inevitable. You will become injury-free, resilient and strong, melt body fat, and build a body that is bursting with energy, strength, and vitality in less than 180 days. And so for Kamil, his results were really just so amazing to him, so life-changing, and so positive. And he got so strong and healthy. And I mean, the compliments he said started becoming too much. He loves these results so much, he never, ever wants to quit. Being strong and being athletic and being capable and being a leader in his own life has become so amazing to him that he never wants to go back to where he was before. It's amazing. The foundation and aggregation becomes the cornerstone of a brand new life. We're staying in shape, being strong, and having boundless energy, pain-free, forever is normal. Living well can become normal. Being strong and athletic become normal. Having an excellent physicality becomes normal. It gets me excited. I love doing this with men. I love doing this. Moving from beyond negative into ever so positive. So now you understand exactly how this process works. I have an offer for you. If you're a busy man, if you're a hardworking father, and you are sick of feeling less than your best self, and you are ready to be strong and lean and resilient, you want to look awesome, you want to feel awesome, and you're ready to see some real permanent change and move away from injury and dysfunction and just half-ass results and feeling and being stuck in this position where you feel like you could be more and you can be more and you want to be more, but you just don't know how to get there, then I will help you. I will help you liberate yourself from pain. I will help you overcome your injuries, 2x your energy, 2x your strength, teach you how to do it forever in 180 days or less using the Resilient Strength Blueprint. And I'll refund you if it doesn't work. I will refund you if it doesn't work. Want to know why it's easy for me to say that? Because it does work, and we adjust it for everybody. And if you're the type of man that wants change in his life, that wants to rise above and become better than he is right now, and is sick and tired of all those things seeping his energy, then we are here and we are ready to help you. So book a call down below and we'll see if we're a good fit. And my friend, I am so excited to see you on the other side of this. I'm so excited.